"Let us follow him," said De Guiche. "It will be the surest plan." "I was about to propose so doing," answered de Bragelonne. In the space of 5 minutes the monk turned around to ascertain whether he was followed or not. "You see," said Raoul, "we have done wisely." "What a horrible face that monk has!" said De Guiche. "Horrible," replied Raoul, "especially in expression." "Yes, yes," said De Guiche, "a strange face. But these monks are subject to such degrading practices, their fasts make them pale, the blows of the discipline make them hypocrites, and their eyes become inflamed through weeping for the good things of this life we common folk enjoy. But they have lost." "Well," said Raoul, "the poor man will get his priest. But, by heaven, the penitent appears to me to have a better conscience than the confessor. I confess I am accustomed to priests of a very different appearance." Exclaimed De Guiche, "you must understand that this is one of those wandering brothers who go begging on the high road until some day a benefice falls down from heaven on them. They are mostly foreigners, Scotch. Irish or Danish I have seen them before, as ugly, no, but reasonably hideous. What a misfortune for the wounded man to die under the hands of such a friar!" "Shao," said De Guiche, "absolution comes not from him who administers it, but from God. However, for my part, I would rather die unshriven than have anything to say to such a confessor. You are of my opinion, are you not, Viscount? And I see you playing with the pommel of your sword, as if you had a great inclination to break the Holy Father's head. Yes, Count, it is a strange thing, and one which might astonish you, but I feel an indescribable horror at the sight of yonder man. Have you ever seen a snake rise up on your path?" "Never," answered De Guiche. "Well, it has happened to me to do so in our Blaisois forests, and I remember that the first time I encountered one with its eyes fixed upon me, curled up, swinging its head and pointing its tongue, I remained fixed, pale and as though fascinated, until the moment when the Comte de Lawford, your father, asked De Guiche. "No, my guardian," replied Raoul, blushing. "Very well, until the moment when the Comte de Lawford," resumed Raoul, "said, 'Come, Bragelonne, draw your sword.' Then only I rushed upon the reptile and cut it in two, just at the moment when it was rising on its tail and hissing, ere it sprang upon me. Well, I vow I felt exactly the same sensation at sight of that man when he said, 'Why do you ask me that?' and looked so strangely at me. 'Then you regret that you did not cut your serpent in two morsels?' 'Faith, yes, almost,' said Raoul. They had now arrived within sight of the little inn, and could see on the opposite side the procession bearing the wounded man and guided by Monsieur Zorminges. The youths spurred on. "There is the wounded man," said De Guiche, passing close to the Augustine brother. "Be good enough to hurry yourself a little, Monsieur Monk." As for Raoul, he avoided the monk by the whole width of the road, and passed him, turning his head away in repulsion. The young men rode up to the wounded man to announce that they were followed by the priest. He raised himself to glance in the direction which they pointed out, saw the monk, and fell back upon the litter, his face illumined by joy. "And now," said the youths, "we have done all we can for you, and as we are in haste to rejoin the prince's army, we must continue our journey. You will excuse us, sir, but we are told that a battle is expected, and we do not wish to arrive the day after it. Go, my young sirs," said the sick man, "and may you both be blessed for your piety. You have done for me, as you promised, all that you could do. As for me, I can only repeat, may God protect you and all dear to you. Sir," said De Guiche to his tutor, "we will precede you, and you can rejoin us on the road to Cambrin." The host was at his door, and everything was prepared. Bed, bandages, and lint, and a groom had gone to Lens, the nearest village, for a doctor. "Everything," said he to Roll, "shall be done as you desire, but you will not stop to have your wound dressed." "Oh, my wound mite is nothing," replied the Viscount. "It will be time to think about it when we next halt. Only have the goodness, should you see a cavalier who makes inquiries about a young man on a chestnut horse followed by a servant, to tell him, in fact, that you have seen me, but that I have continued my journey and intend to dine at Mazingarbe, and to stop at Cambron. This cavalier is my attendant.